Hello, YouTube. How are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Mike. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me. Let's review Group C. And before we do, let's do a little rewind. If you weren't aware, Yieldmax has decided to come out with 4 different groupings of their ETFs. So what they've done is they've put some in Group A, B, C, and D, and each week they will pay out from that group. So Group A has already paid out. Group B was last week, and Group B. Well, let's start with Group A. Their kind of top ETF or top valued ETF is TSLY. Group B was last week. Its top valued ETF, and the top valued ETF at Yieldmax was NVDY. This week, its top valued ETF is Cony, CONY. We'll take a look at that one as well as a whole bunch of others. And then next week at this time, they'll be announcing Group D, which is the final group for ETFs over at Yieldmax. And that one, its flagship is Misty, MSTY, which is a personal favorite of mine. So let's go over Group C today. I'll go ahead and put the entire list up here for you so that you can see it. And then we're going to go over each one individually. How much they paid out, where I found this information, as well as how is the stock price doing, or the ETF price, how it's doing. Also, stay tuned to the end, a little bit of a health update, wealth update. Let's talk about that sort of thing near the end here as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump straight into Group C. I was able to locate this information on Yieldmax's website. To find it, I just simply clicked on news over here, and then it was the first article. Yieldmax ETFs announces distribution, and it just has kind of the top dogs on there right now. This is where you can find it. If you're not currently signed up to their distribution, I got the email this morning, maybe around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and they email every single week the list of distributions. So you can find that here on Yieldmax's website. I'll link the website in the description below. So if you want to get to Yieldmax ETFs here, you can find that information for yourself, which is good. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, just click on Yieldmax's news right here. And it goes over the list of them. And then what I want to do is go over each one with you, and as well as take a look at the share price of that ETF. Now, things to expect tomorrow, whenever the ex-dividend date is. So today's the announcement date. Tomorrow's the ex-dividend date. Things to expect is that the share price should drop the value of that distribution. So the first one here, YMAX, 17-cent distribution. You can expect that fund should drop, 17 cents for sure. But now I have seen in the past where the price has gone up a little bit because of the share price itself and the action within the underlying stocks. So an example with Cony here. Right now, Bitcoin's going through an upswing. I guess that's safe to say. So tomorrow, Cony is supposed to drop $1.10, but with that upswing, who knows? Maybe it goes back up quicker than expected, but not advice, just something to think about. That yes, these will drop the value of the cents and the dollar amount that I'm about to tell you here. All right, first one up is YMAX. Now, this is a weekly ETF, so it pays out every single week, which is awesome. It's done it now for, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 weeks so far. It could be 4 weeks, but 17 cents it's paying out this week. YMAX ETF here, currently trading at $17.58. So fairly stable ETF here. If we take a look at the last month, just up 8 cents. So it's been paying out weekly. It's up 8 cents, so that's not too bad at all. Over the last 6 months, there's where it's been down. And then, it came out January 17th. January. Oh, it looks like January 19th of this year. So it's only down 12% this year, but it has paid out distributions all along here. Let's go take a look to see if we can find out how many distributions it's paid. So YMAX down at the bottom of the list here. And we'll just kind of scroll down. There's all of its distributions. So it's hovering around, This is the 5th week of its weekly right now, so we're up on week 5. But yeah, the distribution is not too shabby here, right around that 50, 60, 70 cent range every month. And then now we're into the weekly, so they're hovering around that 20 cent range every week so far. So not too bad at all. 17 cents this week. So that's going to be the lowest one so far. And that was to be expected. A lot of people kind of had that expectation that YMAX and YMAG may have a lower distribution this week, and then they go back to their regular scheduled programming, potentially back up in the 20 cent range after that. So there's your YMAX. Let's go take a look at YMAG here. Excuse me. So YMAG, Yieldmax Magnificent 7 Fund of Options Income. So 22-cent dividend this month, or this week, sorry. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at your share price right now, $18.83. Look over the last 16 months, there's that $1.44. And it did come out here same time, January at $19.89. So really, it's down $1 since January, but it has paid out quite a bit in distributions. Let's take a look at that. YMAG here. Again, it's just recently switched over to the weekly. The people wanted it. Yieldmax provided it. Let me know which one of these two you're in, YMAX or YMAG. You can see the distributions for this has been lower in the past, so 16 cents. And you know what? Let me move this microphone. Let's see if this recording stops. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, just so you can see that a little bit better. There we go. How's that? Not bad, right? Yeah, so 28 cents was the last one. This one here is 22 cents. How are you feeling about that distribution? I think I'd be feeling pretty good. You know, if you do that over 4 weeks, you're looking at 88 cents. You do that over, I mean, it's not a true, if you do it over a year, right, you're looking at obviously a little bit more than that. So what would that be? $9.60. But I mean, the best way to probably add that up is go by the week. So if I grab a calculator here, and let's just play pretend. That's all we're doing in this video, playing pretend. Let's say 22 times 52 weeks, $11.44. Now, you can see that that's not true. That hasn't paid out the same distribution every single week, so that's not changing. I'm just hypothetically saying if we did get the same distribution every single week, then that would be $11.44. Now, on a $18 ETF, would you be happy with $11? I think I'd be really happy with $11, right? It would take less than 2 years to get all of your money back in distributions, and then from there you're off and rolling. So not too bad. YMAG looking decent. Could be a really good weekly player for sure. Let's pop back in here. The next one is going to be the grand poobah of the Yieldmax funds when it comes to Group C. And that's Cony, which trades off its underlying of Coinbase. And so this week, pretty happy for the people out there looking at $1.10. Now, just so you know, you are talking to, or you're listening to a Cony heavyweight over here. I have 1 share in Cony, so it's no big deal or anything like that. But just wanted to let you know that I'm heavily invested in Cony with 1 share. Who knows? Maybe, and I'm just being sarcastic, but down the road, maybe that might change. The recent share price has been good with Cony as well. Wow, good day today, that's for sure. But I mean, if you take a look at the last year here, it did have a major dip. If you look at the last month, it's up, which is pretty impressive. But if you look at the last 5 days, also up. But let's take a look here at the 1 year. Let's go take a look at all-time lows was $11.34. So if you're a Cony holder today, you're probably really happy over the last month and 10 days, coming from $11.34 all the way up to $14.98 today so far, which is really, really good to see because I know we have a lot of actual Cony heavyweights watching this video. So how do you feel about the last month and a week? How do you feel about that distribution? I bet, and I mean, if I was in your shoes, I'd be feeling pretty happy about Cony right now. even though it's at $14.98. And I mean, that probably started at around that $20 mark. So, well, $18.42. So really, you're only down $3.44 from when it came out. Not bad at all, considering how low it just got there last month, right? So $1.10. I just want to say I predicted $1.09. I mean, you're welcome. $1.09 I predicted. Let's go take a look at the last distributions for Cony here. Let's go find it on the map over here at Yieldmax. So Cony's distributions have been very lucrative, and I've said my feelings about Cony before. I feel like maybe they were too lucrative. They paid out too much money, and that is part of the reason why the share price dropped quite a bit. But I mean, this dollar range right here, if I'm an actual heavy Cony investor, I'd be happy with $1 a month for the rest of my life. That would make my life real good. That's for sure. So Cony, congratulations. Yeah, right now I'm in Nvidia and I'm working on Misty, but I am looking for a mistress. So a third option here, probably within the next 4 or 5 months, depending on how well Misty and Nvidia do over that time. Cony could definitely be that option for me. I'm also thinking AMZ and maybe YMAG, YMAX, or QDT. There's just so many options out there, right? So we'll find the right one for me coming up here. So there's your Cony talk. Next one, I had a lot of people in my comments talking about fiat, FIAT, Yieldmax's short coin option. Now, this is pretty incredible, right? So those two kind of are counterproductive from each other. Both of them paying out over $1. Fiat here $1.45. So congratulations to you. Let's take a look at that share price here. Yeah, not doing too bad at all. $17 today. If we look at the last 6 months, down $3. Came out in July. This is probably the best short play that Yieldmax has. I know they have 3 or 4. This is probably the best one, just from an outsider's standpoint. But yeah, you got to be happy with $1.45 of that. Now, if a lot of us in the room here today are playing this kind of both sides, right? So you want to kind of have your cake and eat your pudding too. Is that the saying? So you have coin, but you also have fiat. So you're getting kind of double dipped right here. You're getting $1.55, or sorry, $2.55 between the two of them. Congratulations. I'm sure you're absolutely ecstatic about that. That's for sure. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that other than congratulations. That's great. Next one up here, MSFO, 50-cent distribution. Stock is looking okay, or the ETF's looking okay. 1952 for sure. Now, Microsoft has had a major boom over the last couple of years here. Yeah, it's not super volatile like Misty, Nvidia, Cony, Tesla, so that's why you're not getting these huge distributions. But yeah, stable share price over the last 6 months here. If you look at the last year, pretty stable as well. Down $1.26 in the last year. 50 cents a month with this thing here. 50 cents a month right now. Not too bad this month. Let's go take a look at other months here. MSFO is that Microsoft play. And there's all of its distributions. So 50 cents is actually higher than the last 4. It's the highest since May. May was 57 cents. So maybe we are getting into an upward swing here of distributions on MSFO. Not a shareholder of this, but yeah, congratulations to you that are, that's for sure. Next up, we have AMDY. And that's a pretty big distribution here. This is an AMD play, so 92 cents. So not too bad at all. And again, it says here paid out every 4 weeks. 59% distribution. Oh, 84% distribution. My bad. I was looking at the wrong line there. AMDY. Let's go find this on Yieldmax's website. Here we go. what kind of distributions have they been paying out before? Yeah, 92. Wow, that was a weak month. 43 cents, 73, 90, 51, $1.13. So this thing is all over the map. Not super consistent compared to the ones we've talked about so far. Up and down like a yo-yo here. But if you're an AMD um, purchaser, then you got to be happy with, let's go take a look at it again, 92 cents. What you're not happy with, my guess is the share price right here. If you take a look over the last year, it's just been a 29% drop. And I'll bring that up a little bit for you. 29% drop over that time. Hey, 30% now. But yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not into the funds that have the major drops like this. Even though it's paying us 92 cents, I'm not into it. I want something a little bit more stable so that my share or my capital doesn't depreciate. So far, I've been happy with NVIDIA and Misty for sure. And so when we go to pillar 3, I'm going to be looking for that stability plus the dividend. You know, I want to have both of those things for sure. So that's AMD. AMDY. Tell me, you an investor in this one? You know what? I'm actually curious. Let's go take a look down here on the website. 117 million. So yeah, there's a lot of AMDY investors out there. That's for sure. All right, next up, Netflix. Nfly. You know what's funny? My sister-in-law has the Netflix version where the commercials are on, and I don't. And so it's a major savings to get the one with the commercials, but like there weren't a lot of commercials on it. Speaking of commercials, cue this one. Welcome back. So there weren't a lot of commercials on it. It was actually not a terrible experience. So who knows? Maybe I might switch over to the one with the commercials. But anyways, Nfly here, NFLY, paying out 79 cents. Big news with Netflix is that I think the NFL's coming to Netflix on Christmas. So that should boost their viewership and should increase more subscriptions during that time period. So something to think about with Netflix over there. I know they have their earnings report coming out soon. So Netflix is always a wild, wild ride when it comes to earnings reports. So what did Jim Cramer say? He was like, no, it's a no-go. This is, many, many moons ago. And then since then it's been up 900%. Something crazy like that. So Nfly, there it is. It's in the house. Let's go take a look at it up top here as well. Nfly payouts doing well, that's for sure. Whoa, look at the big difference here. Nfly 79 cents, 51, 57, 37, 62, 96. Are you happy with 79 cents with Nfly? I mean, that is a pretty expensive stock. Like Netflix itself is pretty expensive. I think the volatility will be coming here over top of earnings. But let's take a look at the last 6 months here. Down 5%. Take a look at the last year, up 10%. Okay. Wow, it had a major drop. That was probably when Jim Cramer mentioned that way back when, October a year ago. Let's go 5-year on this thing. Yeah, so it started August 11th, 2023. And it's only down $2 since then. If you take a look at your dividends since then, you probably have you're positive on your net return. So that's good news. You're definitely positive for sure, right? Especially with a $1.25 distribution in here. So if you bought from day one, you're definitely up in your total position. And I know a lot of us here are here for the income, right? Not just the share price, but the income as well. And so you're definitely up. You're probably fairly happy. Now, there's so many of these underlying stocks that if you had bought the stock, you'd be far ahead. You would be way up, like with Netflix as an example, with its major climb over the last year, 2 years, you would be way more up. But I know all of us are here for not all of us, some of us are here for the income, which is nice for sure. All right, so that's your Nfly talk from today. You're welcome. Let's go to the next one. We only have 3 left. ABNY, which is Airbnb. I saw the CEO on CNBC today. That guy can talk, let me tell you. And makes me want to go out and get another rental and put it on Airbnb. That's for sure. By the way, personal news: we're 10% owners of a rental property in an East Coast province here in Canada. So far, we've rented it out twice. It is getting into the off season, and we're really happy. Yeah, we're really happy with the 2 rentals we had, and we're pumped for next spring. That's for sure. Now that one's on Verbo, and whenever you have a property, um, you know, a 17-hour drive away from you, you have somebody running that property for you. So we've been kind of satisfied with how they're running our property, but we have lots of feedback and teaching points for for these people out there. They're kind of got that laid back island lifestyle, whereas we're like, let's get some business, right? So Airbnb here, definitely popular still. Where I personally live, there's a lot of townships where we live, or communities where I live, that are trying to limit short-term rentals. Is that going to affect ABNB's stock price down the road? Who knows, right? Who knows? So let's take a look at the price. Gave out an 80-cent dividend this month, which is pretty decent for sure. Here's ABNY. 1707 is the current share price. Down, I mean, it's relatively new. It just came out June 25th. Down 15%, which is not nice looking at all. But let's go look at ABNY. Let's find it here first. There it is down below. Take a look at their distribution since June. 2 of them so far. So this is the third one. So 79 cents, 46 cents. And then this one is going to be 80 cents. So the biggest distribution yet by ABNY. So nice. If you're a holder of ABNY, you're probably happy with that. Let's take a look at its value. Wow. So not a lot of people invested in ABNY at all. That's got to be one of the lowest funds at Yieldmax. $15 million in funds. That's got to be one of the lower ones for sure. So safe to say most of you are not involved with ABNB. Sorry, ABNY. Wow, we'll be okay over here. Second last one, PYPY or PYPY, $1.10. Definitely a good one for sure. This is a PayPal option. And let's take a look at PYPY over here. The stock price looking good, 1903. Again, most of the ETFs when they started came out around that $20 range. So this one started at 1958. Any new ETF coming out has been told that it's going to be $50 to allow them the runway to succeed. So this one's only down 54 cents so far. Let's take a look at how many distributions it's put out so far. PYPY. I'm calling it PYPY. Wow, okay, so it's got a good long run here of distributions. Last month was $1.61. Again, today it was announced $1.10. Yeah, you're definitely over that 50 cents. So PYPY's doing well. PayPal had a good run there a couple months ago that brought that share price back up. So I would be definitely satisfied with PYPY so far. It's not on my radar, but could it be put on my radar? I mean, these dividends are all over the map, and I don't think they're necessarily worth it to me to have 1 month at 35 cents, another at 46, another one at 72, Let's see, right? I got 4 or 5 months before I'm ready to buy that next fund, so let's just see how the performance does over the next 4 or 5 months. So that's PYPY. One last one here, ULTY. You ain't got an alibi, you're ulti. So that's going to be Yieldmax's ultra option income strategy. Now this thing is just a crazy little beast over here. It's like a wild animal, this ulti. But paying out 82 cents this month, that's going to be good. Remember, tomorrow is the ex-dividend date, which means that you have to purchase the shares of this ETF today. If you buy them tomorrow, you don't get the distribution. You would get it next month, right? Not this month. So that's cool. But here's Alti. Here's all of its payouts so far. And I mean, they're hovering around that dollar range, aren't they? all the way through. So there's 82 cents. Let's go back. Going to be lower than last month, higher than 2 months ago, lower than the month before that, and then lower than all the other ones before that too. Alti. I did make a video on Alti. If you want to take a look at it, one thing I didn't cover during it was that I just covered what was shown on Yieldmax's website, similar to this. You know what? I'll scroll down. Let me scroll down here and I'll show you what I covered in that Alti video. These things right here. So Yieldmax buys shares in these companies and then trades cover calls on those companies. So this is what I covered, but Alti also has, what is it, 38 other, let's take a look here, holdings. So here we go. I don't actually have Excel, so I'm about to get an error message. There it is. And there it is. And yeah, there's Alti, all of their holdings right there. Nvidia is one of them, Tesla, one of them, all of that kind of stuff up there too, right? So yeah, I didn't cover that, but that's pretty incredible. Yeah, they physically purchase shares and then write cover calls on those shares, and they're looking for high volatility, of course, right? So let's take a look at the share price. This is what a lot of people are nervous about when it comes to Alti. Right now, trading at $10.75. I know that in my community here, we have a lot of you that own shares of Alti, and some of you are justifiably worried about that 1074. You can see here, since it came out in February, it's down 44% in share price. But you have received some pretty good dividends and distributions. They're the same thing. It's just a different word for it over that time there, right? So, you know, have you made $8.61 in distributions? It's getting close to 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's definitely close, isn't it? So what is Yieldmax going to do for you? Are they going to go ahead and do better at helping you raise the share price? Are they going to do a reverse split? And the rumor is no longer is it going to be a 2-for-1 reverse split. It's going to be a 5-for-1 reverse split, bringing this price up to 50. If they did that today, which there's no talk about it. It's just me saying that's getting pretty close to that reverse split territory. So yeah, there you go. That's the breakdown. I'd be pretty happy. Let's go back to the list over here. I would be pretty happy with PYPY. Definitely happy with Alti too, right? 82 cents is pretty decent. ABNY, definitely happy with that, and maybe not so happy with the price of the shares. Nfly, I feel like it could be way better. With the volatility in Netflix, I feel like that could be way better. So I didn't cover Nfly at all, but did they make a ton of mistakes throughout the month on their weekly calls? AMDY, decent, 92 cents. MSFO, meh. Fiat, heck yeah, what a month that was for Fiat. That's pretty awesome. Same with Cony, $1.10. I'd be really satisfied with that one if I was a Cony holder. More than one share. Can't wait to get my $1.10 on Friday, minus my 15% tax. And then YMAG and YMAX doing all right here, 22 and 17 cents, keeping up with their competitors over at Roundhill, which is QDTE, RDTE, and XDTE. That's why Yieldmax did it, right? Because they had competition somewhere else that did weekly dividends. So that's the rundown of Group C. And yeah, congratulations to you guys. The distribution should be this Friday. And if it's not on Friday for some brokerages, I got mine on Sunday of last week, or this week, just 4 days ago from Group B. But yeah, pay attention to that. Talking about the health side, I've gone to the gym now 23 days in the last month and a half. So I'm feeling pretty good, pushing way more weight. I'm documenting my going to the gym with just YouTube shorts. So if you aren't subscribed yet, check out my YouTube shorts. It's just me saying rise and grind. I showed the lake today. It was so dark that I just took the highway to the gym. But yeah, trying to get healthier, not just for me, but for my kid. I want to be around for a long time. and I want her to have me here for a very long time in her life. So, I did let it slip over COVID and packed on, geez, I don't know, 20, 25 pounds. So now I'm trying to drop 38 pounds of fat and put on muscle, more muscle, and I feel like I am, which is really, really good. I'm excited about it, actually. And yeah, so right now, well, when I started, I was 238. Goal is to get down to 200 pounds and get a little more leaner, eat more salmon, chicken, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Those are my main go-tos right there. Drink a ton of water. Right here, had some green tea earlier today. So those are the things I'm eating to help me achieve my goal. I've already dropped 4 pounds. Now, I am also much stronger than when I started. So they always say muscle weighs more than fat. So pretty happy with my progress so far. I'm probably going to get into some sort of sport here where I can actually run. I hate running, or like walking on the treadmill or hitting the elliptical. I hate it so much. I need to get, on the ice playing hockey or pickleball or, squash, something like that to really get sweaty and get moving. What is something that you guys do to stay fit, if you do anything at all? Most of the people watching this video are ages 30 to 65. So let us know how old you are in the chat and in the comments here. What are you doing to stay fit? We had a recent, very kind of sad recent family event. My uncle, super healthy guy, well invested guy, very, very active. Now been in the hospital for 3 weeks, and so the family's thinking about him. So that's why I want to do this so badly. You just never know when something can happen. So that's why I'm investing the way I do, looking for that income. And that's why I'm investing in my own personal self every single day, to be able to support my family and give something to my daughter whenever, life does end. So anyways, you guys, I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in today. We are closing in on 1,400 subscribers. My goal is 2,000 by Christmas. So, less just over 600. I think it's 605 to go. Can it be done? I have no idea, but that's my goal, and I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to hope that if you're watching this video and you're part of the 50% who are not subscribed yet, you hit that button for me today. I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in. My name is Mike. This right here is Health and Wealth, and watch these videos on Alti and PYLT, and I hope you have the best day ever. Bye for now.